Hello everyone, I'm Stephen and
I'm Kieran.
And we decided we'd do a little discussion about the new Final Fantasy VII trailer, because I've always threatened my various friends that I might do streams or discussions, so I thought I'd finally do one.
And this game is like so huge to so many people, me especially. 7 years old, I discovered this game and it radically changed my life forever. And it's crazy that we're like, 2-3 months away now?
Yeah, I gather this trailer's been released as of the 23rd, for the 23rd anniversary of the game, the original game. So
yeah, came out a few days ago and just blew my mind.
It's very good.
Holy shit!
Let's give it a start. Let's have a look.
So, what did you want to talk about?
When spring comes, I'm leaving town. I'm going to Midgar.
Yeah, but
that shot right there.
To be a soldier.
Specifically there. That's a painting right there. That is brilliant. I love the like all the texture on the wood. I mean, it looks. That's crazy that's in-game graphics now, because I don't think this is a pre-rendered bit, is it?
No, that's in-game graphics.
This is in-game graphics. So like it's ridiculous to have grown up with like the most simplistic graphics and to have seen it develop to this. But like, yeah, the textures on the wood. You get the wonderful colors in the night sky. You can see the mountains, you can see the town, the lighting, the moonlight on the characters, and even the pose of the characters here. This would make a great painting, because you've got Cloud sitting straight on, looking forward. He's looking to the future, while Tifa sits sides on, looking at Cloud. It tells you something about their dispositions, their dynamics, and I think that's so cool. I think that's an amazing shot. That's a desktop background right there. It's amazing.
It really is, and this transforms how we see this scene. In the original Final Fantasy VII, Cloud had a very sort of aloof posture. He was sort of like this and kicking his legs back and forth and looking down, and it made him seem very, very depressed, almost like he was leaving Nibelheim because he felt he had no other option. It was his only way that he could prove himself in the world. Like, to prove himself to Tifa and to his family, he had to go off and become a soldier. Well, here, it's like he's so much more optimistic. He's doing this out of idealism, and just, his posture, how he's sitting, he's looking up at the sky.
Yeah.
And it kind of breaks your heart in a really bittersweet way.
It does.
At this point, these are two people that really care about each other, and there's just the inevitability of their lives going like that at this point.
Yes, I think it sets up very well.
Like Sephiroth.
Look at those eyes, full of hope. Full of optimism.
I'm going to be the best of the best.
I've never seen Cloud like this before.
The twinkle in the eyes.
The twinkle in the eye. Like he's so overtly hopeful, which I think that makes his later trouble and cynicism much more moving to when you see where this is coming from. I think that's really effective.
And the hairstyle as well. Like, Cloud's hairstyle
awesome.
Is on point.
Yes, it's very, very cool. Reminds me of Jim Hawkins from Disney's Treasure Planet.
Oh.
Same.
Yes.
It's absolutely that kind of look. I love it. He looks like a sky pirate. It's brilliant. Love it. Let's see.
Tell me, is it really you?
Is it really him? Look at those eyes. That's a new scene then, isn't it?
Yeah, roll it back a little. We talked a little bit about this. Like, that place is not in Final Fantasy VII. It looks like a macro reactor. It looks like it could be the Nibelheim macro reactor, but obviously it isn't. The only place that could be in Final Fantasy VII Part 1 is the Shinra Tower. But that nothing ever looked like that in the Shinra headquarters.
No, you don't go down in the lift and suddenly find a Mako reactor. It's,
yeah.
So, yes, we were wondering if maybe Hojo's lab has been built different. Maybe it's an underground thing or something. Maybe it's in a different section of the building.
It's got to have, because I love the original game. But when you think about it, having like a biohazard, dangerous creatures experimental lab, like 2 floors or something below the president's.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
No. Let's just take the calamity that came from the sky and just put it right next to all the sort of executive offices. Nothing can go wrong.
Exactly. Yeah, that's so it would make sense if they've redesigned the Shinra building sections so that the lab is actually underground, and we see more an area that does look. You were pointing out that it looks a bit more like a cave or something. But yes, so and we're obviously seeing much more of Sephiroth right early on. He's appearing much earlier than he did before, which is, I think there's a kind of give and take to that, because if you see more of him right away, you don't get that build-up so much of everyone talking about him, but you never see him, which is what happened in the original, where you would just see his sword impaled in something, but you wouldn't see him for a long time, whereas now it looks like they're setting him up quite quickly.
Yeah.
But that does probably mean that he will have a more overt presence and personality throughout the game. Because in the original, he doesn't actually... He's not in it that much. He doesn't have that much dialogue.
No.
So he doesn't have much time to develop a relationship with the characters overtly.
Cloud, he was always ambivalent to Cloud in the original.
That's the thing. Cloud is just some random grunt soldier to say. So if in this game they're making it more personal, that might introduce an extra dramatic element to the finale of the whole thing. So yeah.
Really, you?
Are we on schedule?
Right. This song has been my head. Everyone go and listen to this song. Yoshi Survives, said the prophet, and Uematsu. This is just incredible. It captures that feeling of just hopeful loneliness in such a good way. Mm-hmm. It's like it's Cloud. It's somebody who's been through so much pain, but they've still got the perseverance to keep marching forward because there's something out there that they're heading towards. It's cleansing rain after a storm. It's healing after just so many scars. I love it.
It's cool, and I like that they describe the song as being like the song of an outlaw, and they're using the harmonica, and the singer's vocals have a kind of dusty quality to them. It fits very well. There's a kind of Western thing to it.
Yeah.
Where you've got the guitar and the harmonica, and I think it fits. It is a little bit like some of the Crisis Core music.
Yeah.
It's got some of that feeling to it.
Please, Mr. President, I am asking you to reconsider.
My boy.
No
Reed.
begging.
Director Twisty.
The stench of the director's cowardice fills the room yet again.
It's interesting how Heidegger is. He seems more intimidating now than he was in the original game. He seems less. Exactly. He's a less comedic character now. He's a slightly more ominous presence. He's more muscular than chubby.
Yeah.
With his look, and so it's interesting seeing how they're just shifting some of the characters a bit.
This fills the room yet again.
Mako supersaturation confirmed.
Engaging materia cooling to reduce temperature.
Team Director, you have a meeting shortly.
Stop.
Scarlet.
Your timing is impeccably atrocious.
What did that soldier do to be so lucky?
Oh,
that is not a punishment. That is not a punishment.
Yes.
That is a gift.
Oh, absolutely. I love the you'd mentioned how the chair looks so out of place with the rest of the room. You've got this barren, just sort of this metallic, very utilitarian building, and then just this wonderful red leather.
Like 5 grunt soldiers dragged that into the room and groaned all the bloody while. Scarlet is just such a goddamn
She's
queen.
fabulous. She's wonderful. Love her.
You have a meeting shortly.
Stop. Your timing is impeccably atrocious.
That's one thing, is that line should have been rewritten. Impeccably atrocious is not a thing anybody would ever say, no matter how fancy they were. She should have just said your timing is atrocious. Impeccably just... it feels like someone going through a thesaurus and adding in extra words. But now we have Palmer, who I think is perfect.
Oh dear. A man of my refined taste running out of butter.
Welcome to the Honeybee Inn, Cloud. True beauty is an expression of the heart. A thing without shame, to which notions of gender don't apply.
That guy is amazing. I think he's the best. Like, of all the new characters that they've invented for this remake, I think he's the outstanding.
His voice is just so silky smooth.
He's so good.
Perfection.
Let's hear him say it.
Perfection.
Perfection. Oh, yeah, I'm excited that like with Final Fantasy 15, this game is going to get multiple audio languages as well, so you can hear it in Japanese, English, French and German, I think. So I'll be interested. I always have good fun comparing all the different languages and seeing how they sound and checking out the translations and seeing what the differences are and what the characters are saying. I think that's really interesting to do.
Perfection.
It's perfection. Oh yeah, and then so is Aerith. She looks amazing.
Like I remember playing this when I was 7 years old, and you know, Aerith was pretty much like 2 polygons on screen in a red dress.
Yeah.
Like even in my imagination, in my wildest imagination, look at the roses in the hair and the whip.
Yeah, it's so detailed, and that was an interesting thing about, you know, some people are thrown off by her translated name now being Aerith, where it used to be Aeris, but that was because of a mistranslation because of the Japanese, because they don't have a TH sound. But I gather that her name comes from, a lot of the Final Fantasy characters have names that come from wind and earth and air, so her name is literally Air Earth.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
No
Air,
way.
Earth. So like squall and like cloud and like lightning, you've got all these names that are like weather patterns and land masses like terra.
Well, damn.
So yeah, I gather her name comes from air and earth.
Not a word.
Also, cloud in a dress.
There we go. Fabulous. It's much more. Yes, far less bright than I was expecting. It's quite a serious looking dress, this, which is interesting how reserved it is, given the whole incredible makeup scene.
Yeah.
I'm interested. I'm wondering if when you get the dress, if there's going to be like a dress selection screen where you get to design the dress you're wearing. I think that'd be amazing.
He's rocking the gothic Lolita look, you know, the dark sort of like
And the town is looking stunning as well. Like all of the environments are looking amazing. It's consistently all the lighting, all the detail. It's amazing.
But you're so pretty.
I like these statues out the front of this building. That's really cool. And yes, he is so pretty.
I do love Aerith teasing him as well.
Today's.
Tifa looks stunning, by the way.
Which one of you said that? You got a mouth on you.
Well, aren't we having a wonderful time kicking the hornet's nest? You know what I want. A second dance. Just the two of us.
That guy's voice is amazing.
It's so is.
He's fantastic. And again, another new character who's really distinctive, which I think it speaks very well to the direction of this project, that all the new stuff that's being added in doesn't feel like filler or add-on. It feels like it belongs.
It's kind of the most exciting stuff, actually.
Yeah, because this is the new stuff that we don't know about yet, and it's looking like it'll be really good. So I think that's very encouraging that the things that they're adding look like they really do add to it. This guy's terrific. I'm looking forward to seeing more of him.
So what the hell is it?
A fascinating question.
Oh, did it just talk?
I am that which you see before you. Nothing more.
Red 13!
Yeah, I'm liking. I mean, he looks incredible. He's looking amazing. The glowing tail's amazing. I think that's kind of a new effect. I don't think we've seen him have quite that effect before. But he's looking stunning, and I'm liking the sound for him as well. The way that it's that sort of it's got a kind of animalistic husk, but it's also sophisticated, and I think that captures both sides of the character. So yeah, I think that's a good choice. The designs are looking great.
A touching reunion.
Very, very good. And thus is the hypothesis proven correct. I can only hope you will continue not to disappoint.
There's evil laugh. So you were thinking that this whole section, this must be part of Hojo's lab, and Hojo's lab must be in the basement of the Shinra building now.
I mean, that looks a bit too tacky to be like on the upper floors. It could possibly be, but that feels very subterranean.
Yeah.
And if they're housing Genova there rather than in that domed tank in the sort of in the specimens lab, it would make kind of sense if she was kind of part of her own platform. We see like specimen tanks in the bottom left.
Yeah.
Console screen there as well.
Yeah, it looks like there's and he's got his little DNA screens here.
Hojo is a sick bastard.
He really is. This will be really interesting. So this must be all monitors for different angles or different sections of his underground lab.
I know these people, and I know they're never gonna let Aerith go. She's the last living ancient on the planet.
Think about what that means to Shinra's scientists.
So that's an interesting line.
And yeah, it really is. It kind of was a lot. He felt a lot more ambivalent to everything in Final Fantasy VII. He was going after Aerith very personally. It was sort of like, Aerith's helped me out, I've got to go after her, and everybody else sort of like comes along for the ride. But there, it's like Cloud's having a pitch meeting. He's telling people about Aerith. He's like, oh God, she's the last living agent. So clearly he knows all about Etc. heritage at this point. And he's sort of pitching why it's important that they take her back from Shinra, which feels a lot more proactive in the whole Sephiroth sort of fate of the planet plotline, which you know, if my memory is not garbage, didn't sort of unravel until later on into the game.
Yeah.
Which, you know, as we see just shortly, a lot of things are changing and expediting.
Genova.
Look at that boss.
Yeah, this environment here, like, this is all completely new. This might be another section of the lab, which would make sense if it is underground, because they've got room for this kind of thing. It wouldn't make sense for this to be sort of up in the like third top floor of the Shinra building or something. That would be bizarre.
I mean, if they're fighting Genova, it's the only place it really could be is in the Shinra building, part 1. We all suspect the game's going to end when they leave Midgar.
Yes, you'd think so.
But yeah, this looks like because the depth perception on that cavern goes way far back into the background. It's not just this immediate arena environment. So like, there's got to be a colossal amount of space, and just the way the sort of pillars are arching up, like towards like a structural ceiling.
Yeah,
it gives the sense of stalactites and stalagmites, but it looks artificial, so it could be a lab.
Yeah, and there's this weird goo stuff, this sort of golden molten goo stuff on all these pillars. I have no idea what all of that is. It's on the floor as well.
Hojo's been up to no good in this place.
He has.
Getting this goo everywhere.
Yes, exactly. He's been making a mess. That thing is hideous. I mean, oh my goodness, Genova is looking...
That's John Carpenter's The Thing level sort of like freaky monster design.
Goodness me, that is... Wow.
I mean, it kind of makes sense when you think about it. Genova is the calamity that came from the sky.
Yes.
And like, it's almost like an allegory for sort of cancer. She's this disease that comes from the celestial bodies and just infects a planet, consumes it, destroys it, and moves on.
Yeah.
And that looks very sort of like a horrible cancerous growth.
Yes, it's very organic looking. It's, goodness me.
And she's very much a disease.
Yes. And I mean, that shot right there, that is incredible. Goodness me. That is amazing. You're seeing it from a bridge in the town somewhere, and it's just this calamitous, apocalyptic event to see. It shows you what it looks like to see one of the reactors exploding from a pedestrian's point of view.
Right, we never got that. We touched upon it later when Avalanche sort of reflects, like, you know, we're hurting innocent people. Is it worth it? And they're really emphasizing that a lot more. And the fact that we're seeing this from a bridge, from an overpass, as though we're just some random guy heading home after a hard day, and suddenly, bam! The sky explodes and this massive pillar of Mako energy just shoots into the heavens.
Yeah.
It does look like, almost like an atom bomb's gone off in the city. A lot of people have died in that explosion.
Yes, it really does help to give you a sense of the scale.
Suck on this!
Yes!
Cloud keeps falling down things. He seems to have made a habit of this.
He does, and he falls down so beautifully. Hand behind the back, he's going to like grab a...
Oh yeah, he's getting ready. I wonder how they're going to adapt the moment when have we seen him fall through to Aerith's church?
And we're in the original game, he falls into the camera and then it's like blackout and he wakes up.
Yeah.
Where here, like, the best I could figure it is they're going to do that. They're going to black out and he's going to wake up in the church.
Yeah.
In a very similar way, because it's a beautiful sequence.
Yes, it is. But
they could also do the sort of like Indiana Jonesy thing where, like, you know, he hits a number of things on the way down.
That might happen. Yeah, it was a long way. That'll be interesting. Oh yeah, one of those.
Yes.
Yes, one of these. We looked them up. They were sword monsters of some kind.
Yeah, it's sword something. They're one of the standard enemies you fight in the Shinra headquarters in the original game, but they've elevated it at boss level, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like it. So it's chasing you down a tunnel. So this bit here, I'm noticing... the graininess on the screen implies that this is showing you from the perspective of the monster that's chasing them, which is quite fun.
I love that. It's like such a slasher film. Yeah. It's like the beast is behind you. Right?
I like that.
The Shinra.
Oh, I love that. I love that. This Errol Flynn, Indiana Jones type, swinging through the air. This is fantastic.
Whoever cut this trailer, they did a spectacular job.
It's such a good trailer. It's amazing.
And just as they're swinging.
Oh, yeah.
The Shinra Electric Power Company isn't the real enemy. I promise you, there's a much bigger threat. I just want to do everything in my power to help.
So this is interesting. She mentions bigger threat, and then we see these. We see these Watchers of Fate thingies that I don't think anyone really knows anything about yet.
Then they're swarming the Shinra headquarters.
They are. That's not a small scale problem.
No, that is sort of like, that's practically... If these things are dangerous, they're wiping out that building.
Yeah, which is fascinating, because... Normally, the Shinra building does not completely disappear, so I'm curious as to what's going to happen. They're making real use of it being a remake as opposed to just a remaster. It's not just a cosmetic makeover. They're actually really taking the opportunity to expand on the original, which is awesome. I think that's exactly what they should do.
Oh yeah, honestly, I cannot understate how much Final Fantasy VII means to me. Because it is the game that got me into almost the subgenre of fantasy and started getting me to sort of think unconventionally off the beaten track, and sort of it was the springboard for like all of my interests going forward. It played a huge catalyst. So like, just, to see them doing it this much justice and polish is just outstanding. It blew my mind when I watched this trailer for the first time. And it still does. Everything looks so good.
It's stunning. It looks amazing.
It's perfection.
It's perfection. I do wonder what these Watchmen of Fate are all about. Do we know that that's what they're called, or was that just a rumor?
I think that's what they call the Watchmen of Fate.
Yeah.
Which implies that if they're tied with fate and destiny, that's very holistic and good.
Yeah, it implies that they're more likely to be part of the planet's defense mechanisms than of something to do with Genova, you'd think.
Yeah, if they were with Genova, you'd think they'd be called like the Vanguard of Destruction or sort of the Shadows of Turmoil.
Yeah, something like that. Where Watchers of Fate implies something a bit more neutral, or... Yeah, it's... it's an interesting one. I am wondering, because that they've turned up in a few of the trailers now. We've seen them whooshing around and people fighting them. So,
not to the extent of this, because Shinra headquarters is the largest goddamn building in Midgar. To the point where it's almost like 2 sectors in size. It takes up the entire center, like middle of it, and rises well into the sky. And those things are just they're enveloping it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is not a small presence.
The sense of scale is amazing, and that the amount that they can show in modern technology is amazing. Oh, it's stunning. Oh,
yeah. This entire trailer.
It's looking good. It's looking good.
I couldn't ask for better.
Very exciting. Very exciting indeed. Yeah.
Well done, Square Enix. Thank you so much for this.
It's perfection.
It's perfect.